Well, hello there, Mr. Coan Creative. What's the project today?
Vehicles made out of recyclables.
Are these some right here?
Yep.
How old were you when you made these?
2 or 3.
Today's supplies are almost entirely from our recycling can. We've got oatmeal boxes, Band-Aid boxes, toilet paper rolls, the spirals from a spiral notebook that was used up, bottle tops, lids, pipe cleaners just in case. You'll also need recycled paper. Probably you'll want some tape, glue, scissors, maybe a stapler, and probably wire cutters. We'll be using a pencil and a hole puncher as well. If you have any old buttons or beads lying around, those could be fun too.
I'm going to start by making a car.
Which kind of car are you going to make? Just a plain one like this? Or more of a race car like this?
Race car.
Race car. And our idea today is to use completely recyclable. So although you can color one with markers or something like that, Ezra has decided to use some scrap paper that came with our construction and cover his car with this. So we measured and we're going to cut and glue. In order to get that sports car look like this, Ezra's going to show us. He's going to use his fingers, push in the sides a little bit, and then, yeah, there we go. And that part right there where his fingers are, we're going to take a stapler and staple it shut. The next step is to make the back of the seat. Show us how you do it. A long line here, a medium line here, and a short line here. And then we're going to tape this section here and fold this up. So it looks like this with a little bit of tape right there. We've duct taped on the inside. Flip it over and fold up the top. There's your seat.
Next, we're going to put the fire.
Fire! Crumpling the paper makes it softer and easier to work with. From our orange paper, he cut zigzags at the top, and now he's cutting straight lines from the zigzag end toward the flat end, and then it'll look more like flames. A straight line at the bottom, zigzag at the top, little lines coming down. We're going to tape this end to the back end of the car. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Before we tape that fire on, we're going to punch a hole punch here and one on the other side. And if you haven't already stapled this section, you could put a hole punch here and here. We will use a pencil and stab holes in the front. Use those muscles. Here are our holes. This is the hole punch one. This I just poked a sharp pencil through. So there's one, and here's the other. That's where our axle will go through to make wheels that sort of move. Now we're working on the taping. He's putting the tape on the inside of his car so that the sticky part is sticking out. And then he's going to wrap his fire around that tape so that it goes all the way around the inside of the car. Good. The next step is to make axles for the wheels that go all the way through the car. Since we're doing ours with completely recyclable materials, we are stretching out this wire and then cutting it off into smaller pieces. You could very easily substitute a pipe cleaner. Okay, Ezra is putting together his axle and his beads as wheels. I have been making my own car. There is a lot of scrap paper around here. I'm going to poke holes in it, and these are the wheels. You can poke a hole through a bottle top. And here is the easy assembly. It works the same way with pipe cleaners as it does with wire. And done. Now we've got some of those boxes over here. What are we going to do with those?
Train.
Choo choo.
First we have a box. We rip the top off and open it up.
The idea for our train this time is that it's going to be white all around on the outside. On our old one, we just painted the entire thing. Is that you take your box, you pull it apart, you open it up, and then you flip it around and glue or tape it back together in the opposite direction. And we would prefer to have it open on the bottom. So if you cut off the flap at the top, you will have an opened bottom for your train, which will make it easier to put the wheels on. Okay, we've got two boxes. We've got this one, which has a hole in the long side, and we taped it together at this end and this end, and then at the big long seam. And we've got this box with the hole at the short end, and we've taped up that seam and that seam. This will be our train engine, and this will be the one in the back, and we will connect them with a little rope or pipe cleaner or something like that. Okay, Ezra, we're making the engine, and we're talking about making this part right here. Show us how it works. You've got your long piece of paper. You rest it on the side of your box that you want to attach it to. So run your fingers down the crease and down the other crease, and then when you pull it away, we can glue or tape this flap right here and the flap on the other side. Now we're not closing this top part in, just for fun. It looks like that on the front. Here we cut smokestacks out of a separate piece of paper and tape them on.
We just poke a hole here, right here, and right here for wheels.
Right, just like when we made the cars, we're poking holes on each side for the axles. And on this one, we only did 2, and I made sure to put the holes in the box because that's stronger than putting it in the paper. And then, of course, we have to have one on the back. What's the one on the back for, Ezra?
It's for this.
It's for our connector. We used some of our extra cardboard that was left over to make some wheels and painted them. And then we are making axles that go all the way through the holes, and then use our cardboard wheels like this, and then putting beads and buttons on the outside to keep those paper wheels on nice and snug. We did 5 more hole punches on this one on the short end, 2 on either sides of the long end. We have pipe cleaners to put through as axles and more wheels with beads to attach them with. And this is what it looks like.
To connect our trains, we put a knot at either end of the end.
A little rope.
And we already have put one knot inside the back of this one.
Pushing this knot through the hole. Pull it all the way through so the knot is on the other side of the hole, and then they'll be connected.
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo-choo!